Guys, from your personal experience, what changed that caused girls to be sexually attracted to you, not just wanting a friendship? Building muscle. Not a crazy amount, but going from skinny to filling out at shirt made a big difference in the reactions I was getting. I'm sure it boosted my confidence too. Appearing more manly vs boyish. Becoming more independent brought a lot of confidence as well, and that plays a huge part. It came down to physical appearance for me. I'm not a ladies' man by any means, but I did notice a significant change from how I was treated in high school/college to post-grad when I shed a lot of weight and took my styling and fashion more seriously. I was a bit of an ugly duckling without being ugly. Just a horrible haircut, bad-fitting clothes, ugly glasses, acne, and overweight. Once I cleaned up big post-grad and slimmed down, I got a lot more attention. Even ran into a girl from my old high school who once ignored me that all of a sudden gave me a lot of attention. Elle even started dating really late. First GF was around 24 and she was smart and pretty, at the time my type. She said yes to me in a heartbeat, which was surprising. Can't really think of anything other than my presentation. Losing weight and looking good will do wonders for a man. Getting a girlfriend. The clothing and fitness came after one girl showed interest in me. Now when we're out together I can see other women looking me up and down, whereas before I was invisible, no subtlety at all. It's very weird. 6 solid months in the gym. Yup. 6 solid months of the gym and getting below overweight will do wonders. For me it was night and day. For me, personally, it was a change in my fashion. My wardrobe used to be 90% black t-shirts and blue jeans. Once I started wearing more form-fitting, diverse, and mature clothing, it felt like I got more of the right kind of attention. Worked wonders for my self-confidence as well. Dress nice, smell nice, be fit. Not ripped, just not fat. Personal grooming, funny/attitude. If you're in the friend zone, find a diff girl and stop making yourself available. Windfall insurance settlement. I watched a guy go from nice guy at the office that you politely discuss the weather with but you would never F to random women at restaurants checking him out in a couple of years by working on his posture, eye contact, and speech. He used to mumble with his eyes down, shoulders slumped. Saw him a few years later and I guess cycling had given him some confidence because instead of mumbling hello to me with his head down, he walked up to me with his shoulders straight, made eye contact, said hello and called me by my name and actually smiled instead of the usual stoic expressionless face he used to have all the time. He greeted everyone else this way too, including men, so it wasn't some act to try to hit on me or anything. Doesn't hurt that he toned up a bit. Nothing drastic, just toning from the cycling. But the change in demeanor was most refreshing. He was still himself, but version 2.0. When people say just be yourself, this is what they mean. Version 2.0 of yourself is still yourself. I put on 30 pounds of muscle, dropped down below 15% body fat, redid my entire wardrobe, changed my hairstyle, grew out my beard and learned to take proper pictures. Then all of a sudden my exact same personality, tastes, and everything was seen in a different light. I went from ew what a nerd to OMG I'm so into nerdy guys and you're so boring became I love that you have your life together. Make of that what you will. For some reason, my friends' kids really seem to bond to me, most kids actually, so was at my house hosting a big dinner party, bunch of my friends were there, and I was cooking up a big batch of food. While I was at the stove, one my friend's daughters who was less than a year old walks up to me and wants to be picked up. So, I picked her up and held her in one arm while I was cooking with the other. About the same time, another of my other female guests came in the kitchen. She saw me holding the baby and cooking and apparently that did it. We dated a little over 2 years, smiley face. I grew a backbone. I stopped being overly apologetic and became a man of principle. I didn't pretend to agree with a girl just because she was hot. I started seeing myself as being equally as desirable to have in her life, as she would be in mine. I went after what I wanted and realized it was a numbers game where rejection was par for the course. I stopped wasting my time on the ones who were objectively not interested in what I truly wanted. I cut out a holes in my life who were filling my head with negativity as they were bringing me down. Stopped being so damn nice all the time. Not saying I'm a jerk or bully now, but I was a yes man as a kid and it did me zero favors. Have confidence, have principles, have some pride. You don't even have to go that far. Just be comfortable in your own skin and don't be desperate. Girls notice everything about you, how you move, look at them, talk. Just being comfortable and not trying to so hard gets you noticed straight away. Demonstrating some skill you're good at or saying something funny or whatever. There's a switch that flips with women where they move you out of the friend box and into the I would fuck this guy box, and what does it varies from woman to woman. I got a different haircut once and that did it for a lady friend of mine. Sleeping with someone else. I think being able to show your independence and passions, together with you being emotionally stable, it's a mix of a lot of things. Emotionally stable guys are hot. Started putting on muscle. Started getting better haircuts and grooming. Better dressed. And most importantly, learned how to hold a conversation. Learned how to listen and respond when she spoke. A good sense of humor helps as well. I went from a literally starving, 59-110 IBS skeleton to a fit body type around 210 pounds. And I also needed to finish university and get a job, so I have money to buy food to support that growth. When I quit worrying about if they were sexually attracted to me and focused on just being myself. Confidence, openness, and just being a friendly person without expecting sex. Started to have some self-esteem. The first time, hit the weights and got in great shape. The second time, I started making real money. I stopped caring, not about my appearance or who I was, but about them. As cliché as it sounds, pretty girls aren't used to a guy who couldn't care less about them, which intrigues them. Well, I went from being fat, insecure, not confident in myself, and generally unhealthy to fit and muscular, confident and secure in myself, and healthy. I learned to cook my own meals. I started hitting the gym every other day, and really took the time to figure out who I was well enough that I knew what I wanted, needed, and how to take care of myself and be at peace with who I am. Sure, having a nice body helps with people being attracted to you, but the confidence is the biggest thing here. Confidence is hot, it's sexy, it's attractive on anyone. The gym, eating healthy, and getting to know and accept myself helped with my confidence so much. Andy think that's the biggest thing that affected people's attraction towards me. Getting over my ex-girlfriend. Suddenly the same weekend I had 3 different women give me their phone numbers out of the blue, and my now wife, who I hadn't seen in years at the time, we used to be high school friends, decided to take a road trip to visit me. It was a process in my 20th year where I realized I felt physically good and strong. I felt like I was pretty good at the things I enjoyed doing, and there really wasn't any pressure about finding a single woman to date. Literally within weeks to a couple of months one found me, and we've been together for almost 41 years. I realized several years later that women had all along been attracted to me. Not necessarily all women, but some pretty attractive ones. I actually had a small group of women I ran into at a high school reunion. They were talking amongst themselves and mentioned how one of them had a crush on me in high school, and all of them chimed in that they did too. I turned them and said, "Why didn't anybody say something?" Had my teeth whitened, it changed my confidence, that must have been visible, got married soon after. Some girls will never want you and will lead you on forever. That being said, exercise, have good hygiene, dress clean, have a positive mindset, keep trying, and eventually you'll find someone right for you, get married, have a kid, and end up divorced anyway. The number one thing that worked was confidence. There are also the external factors too. Don't expect to attract chicks if you dress and look like a slob. Seriously, get your S together and get cleaned up. Getting in shape, being bold, reckless, and having money. These top comments are all legit. As a woman, I can say I have passed on some really great guys, and wasted time on some too, who just needed to self-improve to make things work for them. Can't help not being attracted to overweight, depressed, needy guys. Become popular in the peer group. Or make them laugh. Instant clothes remover. I've never struggled finding a girlfriend or dating, but honestly never thought of myself as someone who gets a lot of female convo or attention. I actively dodge that like my life depends on it. Immediately makes me uncomfortable that there's some kind of game going. Honestly don't know how people enjoy that. Beats me. I just went on a date with a woman, got invited back to hers, had sex, then woke up this morning to the "hey sorry but I didn't feel a connection" text. Got unfat and gained way more confidence because of it. With confidence came the ability to not freeze up or shy away from women. I'm not straight, but confidence and a good sense of humor goes a long way to attract others. Never take yourself so seriously that it appears you are insecure to others. Aside from that, regular exercise and a good skincare routine also helps. Me pursuing them. Not being shy and expecting the world to come to me. Befriending them. Getting their trust and feeling safe. That was key. The rest is interest and chemistry. Can't force attraction from the woman. There were two moments for me. When I played basketball in high school, I went from regular-sized guy to extremely skinny. I was always wearing super baggy clothes, so I started wearing form-fitted shirts. I also let my hair grow out and the curls helped. Girls started catcalling me and my confidence went sky high. I got another boost right after high school when I joined a band. I was the lead singer and some girls really liked that. But it was like getting another power up because I had more girls and women that would never look at me before start asking for my number. Like full-grown business suit women, some who were married. There were negatives to that. I stopped caring/trying. I previously spent money on the right clothes, whatever the F they were, stopped, and just wore what I wanted. Similar thing with my car. I think it just came from becoming comfortable being me. Got into a weird relationship with someone, and then I went to another girl for advice/reassurance, and then she started acting like she was into me too. So I went to another girl and told her how both of them wanted to sleep with me, and then she said she does too. I don't know what the F to do, to this day. Absolutely winging it. But F it, we only live once. Spent a long time dealing with my abysmal self-confidence, and started peeling back the layers of fear, bad experiences, and prejudice I had previously viewed the world through. It literally took years to get to a point where women would pay any sort of attention to me, but in the end it did work. I found the self-confidence to be unapologetic about who and what I am. I own exactly 7 almost identical t-shirts, 2 pair of jeans, and no furnishing other than my bed and a desk chair. None of this has impaired my ability to meet women for casual encounters. Confidence. Confidence gives you a 2-point boost on a 10-point scale. And 8 turns into the most attractive guy in town. A 4 turns into 6. And so on. I'm a pretty ugly guy, but after I got laid at 24 and started to work out a little, I found my confidence. And the women started coming. Confidence is so important in my opinion. Not to be confused with arrogance. Have you ever heard the term putting the PS on a pedestal? Not super PC these days, but essentially once I learned how to not do that and be more self-aware and confident, my natural attraction exploded. Married 2 kids now and another on the way. Essentially once you are not desperate, opportunity grows. Smiling and not talking badly about myself, even while joking. Now with my close friends I crack self-deprecating jokes all the time, but women like happiness and confidence, well, at least the ones that are happy and confident themselves. As far as maintaining a relationship, faking not being depressed and secretly having low self-esteem can only be done for so long, so I tend to inevitably have failed relationships because of it. So really you should do things that'll make you actually happy and confident, and while at the gym, or at a convention, or whatever you choose to make these self-improvements, you'll meet someone who shares the same interests as you. Doing good at my job. I cook food, and from what I have been told is that the key to a girl's heart is through their stomach. I feel it would work better if my shift didn't last until the crack of dawn, but morning shift is full of people more miserable than night shift. Don't get me wrong, night shift can still be miserable, but at least we can have fun in this storm we call a workplace. I learned to bluff my way through pretending to have confidence. I just kinda became a fun-loving goofball and laughed my way through most things. It was crazy how at 25 years old I figured the whole thing. From super shy to Mr. Stud, Haha. Lasted about 6 months until I realized how I was hurting people who grew feelings for me while I was just having fun. Was an exciting little moment in life, though. Stopped worrying about whether people thought I was cool or not, and became comfortable in who I was. I went out one night with a couple of friends, one of whom was a model. She brought her boyfriend, also a model, and a couple of his mates, again also models. That night was a real turning point, like, I'm never going to be as cool as these guys, so why keep pretending? Accepting who I am turned out to be the coolest thing you can do, and paid subsequent rewards. Well, with my girlfriend. It wasn't exactly a sexual reason. I think it was more romantic. We had been friends first and I eventually admitted that I had a crush on her. She didn't really feel the same way at first. But we keep talking and spending time together and she caught feelings. So, just be nice and friendly. But also be honest, girls can spot fake kindness from a mile away. I hope I got this right from her perspective. I'll ask her later if needed. First off, always remain respectful. What made girls start liking me though? Confidence and disregard. Confidence to speak to lots of girls, and disregard when they weren't interested. If someone doesn't like you, move on. Eventually I learned seeming disinterested, or as if I wouldn't be bothered either way if they were interested in me or not, would attract even more women. Oh, also, I learned I would get laid way more when women found out I'm a halfway decent cook. Finally, once I started getting lucky, the luck kind of kept flowing. I sincerely believe whatever pheromones we have that attract women are let off in mass after we've had some luck. I believe it's an evolutionary trait. Not giving AF. Honestly, I used to worry what a girl thought of my hair or outfit. Once I started dressing for myself, making my appearance for myself, it just showed confidence, I guess. If you walk on eggshells for their approval, it comes off insecure and they want you to be sure of yourself even if you're all about Star Wars. This isn't exactly from personal experience, but I've found that confidence goes a long way. If an adequate amount of time's passed and you want to make your move, even if it blows up in your face, your intentions are out there and that's important. Mainly a change in fashion and personal appearance. I lost a bit of weight, stopped wearing sweatpants all the time, started wearing rings and bracelets and did some exercises to build some muscle and make my veins pop out. Now, if I come across a girl who's into that kinda thing, I make their voice shaky by simply existing and looking into their eyes when I talk. To be honest, if I throw money around, talk about my accomplishments and hype what I am currently working on, only then have I unlocked the sexual gateway. Unfortunately, I'm not comfortable behaving like that. Being unabashedly myself. I have an outgoing and charming demeanor that is authentic and compassionate. Complimenting them in a non-flirtatious manner and just being happy. Girls tend to gravitate toward that sincerity and good energy. I'm okay being just friends with girls because my standards are pretty high, and I don't do one-night stands. I'm convinced having a girlfriend emits some kind of aura that makes me suddenly 200% more affable. I typically have incredibly long stretches of being single between girlfriends, but it feels way more women hit on me when I'm in a committed relationship. I forget who, but some comedian made a joke about this. When a guy bring a good girl to meet his homies, they all think, I gotta get a girl like that. When a girl brings a good guy to meet her girls, they all think, I gotta get that guy. For though, I just assume girls tend to like committed guys cause they're wanted and proven to some degree to be relationship material. Not really sure though. I'd say for me the number one thing was a change in my mindset and attitude. Before, I had a take whatever you can get attitude because L struggled with women. I'd always bide my time to make my move, get into quasi-friendships with women in hopes that they'd be potential dates someday, or they'd be able to introduce me to friends who I could be romantically/sexually involved with. I'd also waste my time with women who I wasn't really interested in, but who were interested in me, mainly for validation purposes. After a few years or so doing this and realizing that it wasn't working for me, I decided to change up my overall approach. Stop biding my time and make a move sooner rather than later. Not accept friendships from women, unless I was truly interested in being her friend without expecting anything further. Stop wasting time with women I'm not interested in. Stop giving AF about rejection. This was really the root of my problems. Here's what I noticed and learned after this: the sooner you get rejected, the sooner you can move on. Spending time in the friend zone or other unsatisfactory situations with women actually wastes a ton of time, effort, and energy you could spend towards finding someone actually interested in you. You'd be surprised how many women out there are really just waiting for you to make a move. The vast majority of women aren't socially conditioned to make moves on guys. 2 things. 1. Exercise. 2. Not actively pursuing women and just focusing on my own things/goals/interests. I don't think I need to get into why exercise is important, but the second point I make is paramount. Stop looking all the time. Stop scrolling your apps and vying for love and sex so much. It's just not a great look, nor is it even that gratifying of a pastime. Do as you want to do. Achieve/pursue goals you want to achieve/pursue. Embrace hobbies you love, and enjoy your life. The quasi-paradox of all this is that in not looking for women, you are at the same time becoming far more interesting to women. The second you start doing things just to get women, it sullies what you're doing, and your intentions are more transparent than you'd like to believe. There might be a couple of months you aren't approached, but when you are, wee boy, you've never been pursued by a woman like a man who is in shape and has shit going on. AML explaining this effectively, I doubt it.